The stars above the Zorvan outpost twinkled like cold diamonds. From orbit, the deep black space seemed quiet, calm, as if nothing had changed. But something had changed. Something big. Technician Laura sat at her console, sipping a cup of bitter Stimroot tea. She had just begun her night shift. The system scans were routine. She expected nothing. Just background signals, tiny pulses from nearby moons, distant comes traffic, all quiet. Then, at 3:14 Standard Time, her screen flashed. An energy spike. Strong, fast, too clean to be natural. She leaned forward. Unscheduled FTL wake detected, the system said in calm digital voice. Her fingers flew across the console. Coordinates were locked, outer orbit beyond the asteroid ring. Laura's heart began to beat faster. Command, she called out over the com. This is Outpost 9. We have a possible jump signature. Unknown. Class, there was a short silence, and the voice of Commander Ryle came through, groggy but sharp. Confirm the signature. Tech. Could be a drift echo. She stared at the screen. Negative, sir. This is real. Just came out of Fold Space 2. Minutes ago. Heading inbound. Send visuals. Laura tapped the keys. A rotating satellite nearby picked up the image and relayed it. At first it was just a black shape, hard to make out against the void. But then it moved slightly, and the starlight caught. The edges, the entire operations room gasped. The ship was long, like a spear. Sharp angles, no visible life pods, no station beacon. It looked like a weapon. Along the side, in faded white letters, were two words the translators barely needed time for. United Earth. The human language. That alone made Commander Ryle sit up straight. Earth, whispered. They're real? Everyone knew the old stories. Earth was a low-tech, chaotic world hundreds of light years away. It had been visited once by a quiet Zorvan science team nearly 3 centuries ago. The report said the species was primitive, hostile, not ready for contact. They left erasing evidence of their visit. Since then, no one had returned. And no one expected to. Until now. How did they find us? Rael asked, standing in the observation dome as the ship slowly drifted closer. Sir, Laura said, they're not responding to hails. We've sent standard greetings in 6 dialects. No reply. Weapon signatures? Rael asked. Power is high, but no weapons locked yet, however, ... Laura hesitated. The ship's core readings suggest massive internal energy storage. Far beyond anything we've seen from Earth-class worlds. Rael frowned. So they built a warship. It seems so, sir. And they're still coming. Rael activated a private. Come to Central Command. This is Outpost Commander Ryle. I am declaring a Level 3 alert. Unidentified human vessel in approach vector appears armed. A soft voice replied, acknowledged. Do not provoke. Attempt peaceful contact. He already had it wasn't working. By the 3rd hour, the human ship had settled into high orbit, directly over the Zorvan outpost. Still no messages. Still no movement. Just watching. The silence was worse than any threat. Rael ordered a diplomatic shuttle to launch. Small. Unarmed. Bright blue hull to show non-aggression. On board were 2 translators and an elder named Jeritha, speaker trained in over 300 languages and customs. He had been part of first contact teams before. Confident. Calm. As the shuttle moved toward the human ship, tension in the operations room grew thick. They won't attack, Jareth said over the open channel. We're here in peace. Rael wanted to believe him. The shuttle closed in. 50 kilometers, 30, 10, then nothing. The feed from the shuttle cut off. No response, Laura said. No signal. It's gone. Try to reestablish comms. Rael barked. They tried. Over. And over emergency pings. Proximity scans. Nothing came back. And the human ship finally moved. It rotated slowly, bringing its long, narrow front directly toward the outpost. The lights on its hull glowed red. 4 lines of energy shimmered along its side, matching exact patterns of a known Terran military design. A design none of them should have known. "We're being targeted," said Laura. Her voice cracked slightly. Rahl stood frozen. "Is this an invasion?" No one answered. Suddenly, a single message popped onto the screen. Not audio, just words. Raw translated text from the human ship. "You interfered. You lied. You erased what we were. Now we are what you made us." That was all. Then the ship powered down its external lights. Its engines stopped firing. It just hovered, dead silent, over the planet. Rael turned to his team. "How long has it known about us?" Laura whispered. "Maybe longer than we've known about them." The tension was unbearable. No one left. Their stations. Meals were ignored. Every second they waited for the next move. Attack? Landing? Another message? Nothing. By R10, the Zorvan High Council ordered a fleet to be sent. But Rahl wasn't so sure that would help. This ship, this human ship, it didn't come, seeking peace. And now, someone had to find out why. He stared at the screen again, at the black spear in the sky, and whispered to himself, "What did we do to them?" Behind him, Laura's console lit up again. "Sir?" she said, eyes wide. "There's another signal, small, encrypted. Looks old, buried in the outpost's deep storage. Play it." The message was ancient, recorded in Zorvan. Voice, a memo from the science team that visited Earth long ago. It said, "They are violent. Yes, but they learn fast. Too fast. If they ever learn the truth, we must be gone." The feed ended. And that's when Ariel realized they weren't. Just here by chance, the humans had come for a reason. And the real war hadn't even started yet. The warship hadn't moved in almost a full rotation. It just floated above the outpost, casting a shadow that seemed heavier than it should be. Zorvan satellites scanned it from every angle. No heat signatures beyond its core. No response to. Hails no signs of damage. It wasn't drifting. It was watching. Inside the control room, everyone was tense. Most barely spoke. Some refused to blink. Commander Rial hadn't slept. His eyes stayed fixed on the tactical screen, watching for the smallest flicker of change. "Still no contact," Laura reported again. No reply, no message, no shift in position. "Oh," nodded. His voice was dry. "In the diplomatic shuttle." She paused. "Still gone? No signal? No beacon?" Like it never launched. The silence that followed was thick. Across the room, Ensign Joro adjusted the sensor display. "Sir, ... new reading. Small movement inside the human ship. No external changes, but internal systems just activated. It's heating up. Powering." "Weapons?" Riel asked. "Unknown. Could be engines. Could be something else?" Everyone leaned in as the lights on the warship flickered. One by one, they glowed red again, like slow, steady breathing. The long central cannon rotated just slightly, enough to aim more directly at the outpost. "Shields too full," Riel ordered. "They're already up, sir," Laura said. "But ... double quotes, but what?" "Even at full power, they won't hold against something that size. Not for long." No one said anything after that. A long pulse came from the warship. It wasn't a weapon. It was a scan. Focused, intense. It passed. Through the Zorvan defenses like they weren't there. It scanned the command deck, their files, their history. "It's reading everything," Laura said. "It's not even trying to hide it." Then came the sound they had all been dreading. A low frequency. Deep. Mechanical. Not natural. The warship was charging something. Confirm. Rail snapped. "It's not the main cannon," Joro said. "It's secondary batteries. Pulse arrays. Looks like they're targeting our communications, propulsion, and orbital links. Not people. They're disabling us," Rahl muttered. "Why not just destroy us?" Laura asked. Before anyone could answer, a pulse beam fired. Struck the orbital relay, a direct hit. The screen went white for a moment as the shockwave rippled through space. When the image returned, the relay was gone. Just vapor. Seconds later, 3 more beams fired, hitting antenna towers, shield regulators, and the FTL beacon. The Zorvan outpost was now completely cut off. No more long-range comms, Laura said. We can't call for help. Another message appeared on their main screen. Same as before, no audio, just plain text. You silenced us first. Now we return the favor. Rawls, fists clenched. We didn't silence anyone. Then came a second message. Your leaders did, your scientists did, and now, you'll remember at the bottom of the screen a data packet arrived, encrypted old code. Zorvan design, but modified, twisted, enhanced. What is it? Rel asked. Laura tried to open it. It's a transmission log. It's from Earth. From centuries ago. It's been looping this whole time, buried in deep space, masked as static. The audio crackled. It was weak, distorted by time and distance. A human voice came through. Double quotes. We are not your experiment. We are not your project. We remember the ones who came with silver eyes, who erased our skies, who left us in flames. ... We are not primitive. We are patient. ... The voice faded, replaced by the sound of static. ... And then screaming, real, human, agonizing, then silence. The playback stopped. Laura covered her mouth. Sir, ... They've been listening, they've been watching, for years, maybe centuries. They found our records, Rahl said softly. Learned what we did. Back when Earth was still growing, the Zorvan scientists came down in cloaked ships, observed wars, sampled DNA, tested technology on live humans, all without consent, all erased from official reports. They must have found one of our probes, Laura said. They must have hacked it. No, Rael replied. They didn't just find it, they understood it. Suddenly the control room lights flickered, systems glitched, half the screens went dark, security alarms blared in random directions. We're under cyber attack? Joro shouted. All systems are being rewritten, Laura yelled. They're disabling our core, shut it down. Barked. Too late. The human ship released a wave like a silent EMP, but more precise. The control room fell to emergency power. The AI systems went offline. Only life support remained, for the first time in decades. The Zorvan outpost was completely blind. Manual controls flickered back on. Rahl stood in the flickering red light, his voice calm but hard. We have to fight back. With what? Laura asked. We can't even see. Then we prepare, he said. We hold position. We find out what they want. And if we can't win, we survive long enough to warn someone else. Sir, Joro pointed to the main screen. May not get the chance. The human ship had moved again. Slowly. Quietly. No engines, just drift. But now, it was only a few 100 kilometers away. Close enough for a direct strike, the central cannon began to glow. One last message appeared. This is not war. This is memory. Rahl stared at the words. Then let's give them something to remember too. Just as the crew began powering up emergency defense turrets, the entire outpost shook. Not from weapons, from something else. Beneath the station, ... On the surface of the planet, old ground sensors triggered. A vault, buried under the outpost, locked for centuries. Opening. What is that? Laura asked. It's not human, Joro said, watching the energy signature rise. It's Zorvan, ancient, pre-expansion, era. The humans weren't attacking the outpost. They were drawing something out, something the Zorvans had buried long ago. Rial looked out the viewport. The warship hovered silently, weapons glowing, but not firing. They weren't here to conquer. They were here to wake something up, and the Zorvans had just made the mistake of trying to forget it. The ground beneath the outpost shuddered again. Dust rose from the cracks in the floor of Sublevel 9, where no one had stepped for nearly 200 years. Emergency lights flickered red. Something ancient had awakened beneath the soil. Something the Zorvans had buried and forgotten. Commander Rial stood frozen in the command room, eyes locked on the sensor readings. The underground vault was fully powered. Not by the outpost, not by their grid, but by something deep and old. Something alive. "What is that vault?" Irel asked. "Why is it opening?" No one answered at first. Finally, Joro stepped forward. "Sir." "I think I know." He pulled up a corrupted archive from the military library, one buried behind 6 layers of restricted clearance. He unlocked it using a special code only the outpost's commander should have had. Rel gave a small nod. Laura leaned in as the file decrypted. Old video footage appeared grainy and black, dash and dash white. It showed a group of Zorvan scientists standing around a large capsule. Inside the capsule was something humanoid, still bound, not fully conscious. "This is Project Echo," a voice narrated. "Subject acquired from early Terran population specimen shows high neuroplastic adaptation, aggressive regenerative properties, and unnatural resistance to psionic probes. Specimen retained for further study. Memory suppression initiated." Then, the video cut off. Laura stared in horror. "That's a human." "We didn't just visit Earth," Joro said quietly. "We stole from it." And now, the vault was opening. "They came for it," Rial muttered. "That ship. They didn't come to destroy US, they came to retrieve one of their own." Outside, the human warship remained still. Its weapons were fully powered, but they hadn't fired again. A clear message. Don't interfere. But Rel couldn't just do nothing. "Send a drone into the vault," he ordered. "Now." Laura hesitated. "Sir, if they see us, we need to know what's down there. Send it." The drone launched it. Descended through old lift shafts, past rusted levels, cracked walls, sealed bulkheads. The deeper it went, the stranger the atmosphere readings became. Gravity shifted. Energy readings spiked. Finally, the drone reached the vault. Its camera activated. A huge circular room appeared on screen. Dark metal walls, symbols long forgotten. In the center was a chamber glass, and steel slowly hissing open. Inside lay a human figure. He wasn't old, but he wasn't young either. Muscular, covered in strange scars. Tubes had been pulled from his skin. His eyes were closed, but his body was waking. Then, as the drone floated closer, the man's eyes snapped. Open. Not human. Not fully. His eyes glowed gold. Not with anger, with memory and pain. The drone feed cut out instantly. "Signal lost," Laura whispered. "He's awake. Get security teams to the lower levels," Rel barked. But before they could move, alarms blared. "Intrusion detected, Sector 12 Hangar Bia Wajoro checked the feed. The human warship just deployed something. Small shuttle, fast. Heading for the vault. The shuttle moved with precise purpose, undetected by most sensors. By the time the defense turrets tried to lock on, it was already past them. Outposts! Old magnetic gates opened as if they'd been waiting for it. "They're not invading," Ral said. "They're retrieving." "That thing down there," Laura whispered. "Is it even human anymore?" Erel stared at the cracked drone feed. The man in the vault. His presence had triggered every psychic sensor in the base. Readings showed high neural activity. But not just random motion. He was remembering everything. The abductions. The tests. The lies, and now. His people had come for him. "We took him from his world," Ral muttered. "Erased his identity. Rewrote his mind. Locked him away like a weapon." "And now he remembers," Laura said, in the depths of the vault. The man sat up fully. He looked around, like waking from a long dream. His breathing was slow, controlled, but his expression was unreadable. From the far side of the vault, the human shuttle arrived. It landed silently. 2 figures stepped out, both in advanced armor. Helmets hid their faces. They walked toward him without fear. The man stood. They spoke to him not in Zorvan, but in his native tongue, Subject Zero. "You are not alone anymore." His eyes flicked toward them. For a moment, there was hesitation. Then, without speaking, he stepped forward. He remembered the language. He remembered everything. From the command center. The Zorvans watched helplessly. "They're taking him," Joro said, without firing a single shot. Earl narrowed his eyes. "They didn't come to start a war. They came to finish one." The humans in Subject Zero walked onto the shuttle. It rose gently, silently, and exited the vault the way it came. No alarms were triggered. "The systems barely noticed it. They left a back door in our defense grid," Laura said. "Probably years ago, shuttle returned to the human warship. It docked. Then the warship turned, but before it left, it sent one final message. You erased one of us. We took him back. The next time we come, it won't be for one." The engines powered up. Fold space bent around it. And just like that, Dot vanished, gone. The outpost was silent. Rahl stared at the empty screen. "We were wrong," he said softly. "About them. About everything." Laura didn't reply. Instead, she looked out the window at the stars suddenly. "Feeling much smaller than before. They were always watching," she said. "And now they remember." And somewhere deep in the silence of space, the humans carried with them something older than hate, something far more dangerous. Memory. Days passed. The Zorvan outpost remained silent. Damaged systems were slowly coming back online. But the deeper damage, the kind buried in the minds of the crew, was harder to repair. No one spoke much. Even Commander Rahl had stopped issuing regular orders. Everyone was waiting, watching the stars. It's waiting for something else to arrive. Then it happened. An object exited fold space without warning. Not a warship. Not human. It was a drone. Ancient. Small. Round. No weapons. No transmissions. It just floated toward the outpost, then stopped 200 kilometers away. "Should we shoot it down?" Joro asked. "No," Rahl said. "Scan it first." Laura ran the diagnostics. Her eyes narrowed. "Sir, ... It's Zorvan." "What?" "It's one of ours. It's from the pre-expansion age. Model X07, designed for deep memory archives." "Where did it come from?" Joro answered, his voice slow. "From outside the mapped galaxy?" Everyone in the control room turned. "Say that again?" Joro pointed to the trajectory data. "This drone didn't come from human space. It came from beyond, past the last charted systems. Past where we thought nothing existed." Rahl stepped closer to the display. The drone's surface opened. Slowly. Deliberately inside was a memory crystal. Red, ancient. The kind used only by High Command. "Thousands of years ago?" "We need to bring it aboard," Laura said. "Not here." Rahl replied. "Take it to the subdeck vault. Keep it isolated." An escort team suited up, retrieved the drone, and brought the crystal to the vault chamber. No one touched it directly. Pulsed gently like a heartbeat. When activated, crystal projected a hologram, not of war, but of a prison. It was a black void cold. Empty space held together by a lattice of antimatter and time anchors. In the center floated a stasis cube. Inside it was another human. Not Subject Zero. Someone else, female. Younger, still alive. She was locked in total stasis, her mind held in a digital dream. The hologram shifted, showing a date. Zorvan, year 2, 801. 973 years ago. Then, it displayed a log entry. Specimen Theta-5. Subject exhibits ability to phase between organic and energy states. Capable of disrupting quantum layers. Threat level. Catastrophic. Project cancelled. Subject isolated permanently. Memory wiped from records. Vault location. Classified. Rahl stared at the message, his jaw tight. "We didn't stop at one," he whispered. The room was quiet. "They had a list," Laura said. "Subject Zero was just the beginning. Drone came to remind us," Rahl added. "They didn't forget the others." Suddenly, the crystal projected another signal, coordinates 2. A system on the outer edge of the Orion Arm, near an unstable star. A place with no name, only a Zorvan. Military code from a forgotten age. The humans had found it. Or were about to. They're going after Subject Theta. Joro said. Laura swallowed hard. And if she wakes up like Subject Zero did, won't just remember, Rail said. She'll be angry. A silent alarm triggered on the system's edge. New contacts. Ships. Entering the region, 6 human vessels. Small, fast, unmarked. Moving in formation. They weren't broadcasting signals. But they weren't hiding either. They're not warships, Joro said. No heavy weapons. Rescue fleet, Rail guessed. They were heading straight toward the classified vault, and they weren't alone. Another signal blinked into view. Much larger ship. A carrier. Human. Same design class as the warship that visited the outpost, but bigger. Much bigger. Inside its hangar bays, sensors detected rows of recovery pods, medical bays, and something strange. Chambers filled with memory-linked devices used to restore damaged or wiped minds. They came to wake her. Laura whispered. And we can't stop them, Rail replied. The Zorvan fleet was still days away. Their nearest defense line couldn't reach the vault in time. The humans had chosen the perfect moment. They planned this, Rael said. They waited until we were blind. Cut off. Weak. Like suddenly, a secondary alert flashed. The vault's stasis field was dropping. Someone's already there. Joro said inside the vault. Security footage from the deep archive showed a figure moving through the corridors of the classified base. One human, armored, efficient, alone, not part of the main fleet. Who is that? Laura asked. The footage zoomed in. It was Subject Zero. He had returned without a ship, without backup. He was moving through the vault with confidence, like he had been there before. He knows the layout, Joro said. Even after centuries. In stasis. Subject Zero reached the core chamber. He stood before the stasis cube, holding Theta-5. He placed his hand against the containment field. Sensors read his neural patterns spiking. He was transmitting something memory, his own, to her, across the galaxy. On the Zorvan outpost, Rael and his crew could only watch. Inside the vault, the stasis cube began to crack. Not from damage, from within. Hairline fractures spread across the surface. Light spilled out then. Without warning, the cube shattered, and Theta-5 opened her eyes. She didn't scream. She didn't speak. She simply rose. Her body flickered solid one moment, energy the next. Time seemed to bend around her. The surveillance feeds distorted. Screens glitched. She looked at Subject Zero. Recognition flickered across her face. Then she nodded. Outside. The human fleet arrived in full formation. Shuttles launched. The carrier opened its hangars. Extraction teams prepared to land, and at the center of it all, 2 beings stood side by side. Not just humans anymore. Something more. Something built from pain. Memory, ... on silence. The vault was theirs now, and soon the galaxy would know why. The humans had stopped answering Zorvan messages. They hadn't gone quiet out of fear. They had gone quiet to remember. And now, one by one, they were waking up. The carrier ship drifted in low orbit above the vault world. Its hull glowed dimly, almost like it was holding its breath. Inside, every corridor buzzed with movement. Teams prepping medical bays, engineers checking power levels, command crew. Scanning nearby space for Zorvan response ships. No resistance had come yet. In the center hangar, Subject Zero stood beside Theta-5. She hadn't spoken since waking, but she didn't need to. Her presence filled the room, bending gravity slightly, altering lights and signals without touching anything. The crew kept their distance, not from fear, from all. She moved like a ghost in a storm combined barefoot, calm eyes glowing faint. Blue, she was still regaining control of her body. Her voice too, but her thoughts were sharp, focused. Why did they keep me? She asked finally. Subject Zero looked at her. Because they feared you more than they feared war. She blinked. Slowly, and they erased me. But I came back. Theta-5 looked around the ship, its lights, its crew, the humans watching her carefully from behind transparent armor. These are my people. Yes, Subject Zero said. but not all. Many more are still sleeping, hidden like you were. All over the galaxy, we came to wake you first. Theta-5 tilted her head. Why me first? Subject Zero hesitated. Because they buried you the deepest. Elsewhere on the ship, Commander Rel's face appeared on a secure channel. The humans had opened communication. Rel, the voice said. He stiffened. He knew the voice. Subject Zero. You're transmitting on our command line. Yes, the human said. Because this isn't a declaration of war yet. What is it then? A warning. Rael leaned forward. We haven't attacked you. But you did, Subject Zero said. Long ago. You took us, used us, erased us, then left us buried, broken, and forgotten. Now we remember. Not alone anymore. Rel kept his voice steady. What are you planning? We're not planning revenge, Subject Zero replied. We're planning recovery. The others are out there, hidden in your old labs, your black sites, your forgotten experiments, and we're going to find them. Raoul's screen glitched for a moment, just enough to show a background signal behind the human's face. A data packet, not encrypted. He ran a scan. Coordinates 27 of them, across Zorvan territory. What is this? Subject Zero's voice was quiet. The ones you buried, the ones you tried to forget. We found the locations. You can't hide them anymore. We're going after every one. Raul's throat tightened. How many of you are there? He asked. There was silence. Then Theta-5's voice came through. We don't know yet, but soon. All of them will hear us. The transmission ended. Inside. The carrier, Subject Zero, turned to Theta-5. You're strong. You're clearer than I was when I woke. She nodded. Because I wasn't alone. What do you mean? I dreamed while I slept, she said. For a long time I wasn't just in stasis, I was linked. To the others. We didn't know. Names or faces. Just feelings, echoes, pain, rage, but also hope. A signal. What signal you? Subject Zero said nothing. Behind them, a technician approached carefully. We've reached the edge of fold space. Engines ready. Subject Zero nodded. Begin the jump. The carrier shuddered. Light warped around it. Then the stars bent and vanished. They were gone. Meanwhile, on Zorva Prime, the High Council met in secret. 12 seats. 12 faces. All watching the red data crystal retrieved from the outpost drone. So it's true, one elder said. We didn't just lose one. We're losing all of them. Another elder gritted her teeth. How did the humans even survive? We monitored Earth for centuries. Their minds are built for adaptation, someone else said. Their bodies for resistance. We saw them as animals, but we never understood their deeper layer. Memory. They remember pain like no other race, another muttered. And they hold it. The council chamber dimmed. A massive star map hovered above the table. It glowed red in 27 places. Vault sites. Every one of them now exposed. A general stepped forward. Should we strike first? With what? The elder leader asked. Every weapon we used last time failed. It's the ones we buried. We buried for a reason. They were too dangerous to kill, the general said. Then maybe, the elder said slowly, we shouldn't have taken them in the first place. For the first time in 1,000 years, the Zorvans had no plan, only fear. Elsewhere, in a quiet corner of deep space, human carrier exited fold. They were above a moon, covered in ice and metal. Beneath its surface lay Vault #14.Theta-5 stood at the viewport, watching it spin slowly below. I know this place, she whispered. I dreamed of this one often. Someone inside was always screaming. Subject Zero joined her. He tapped a panel ready. The recovery team. Quiet approach. We go in fast. Get them out and vanish before the Zorvans catch up. Theta-5 turned to him. What if they fight us? He didn't answer right away. Finally, then we remind them. She nodded. Remind them of what? Subject Zero looked down at the moon. His voice was steady. What happens when you push? A species too far. The ship tilted. Drop pods launched. The second rescue had begun, and across the galaxy, the ghosts of a forgotten war were waking. Not to fight, but to return home. The 11th vault was empty. Subject Zero stood in silence, staring at the broken containment tube. Lights flickered above him, casting long shadows across the sealed chamber. Theta-5 stepped closer. They got here first. He nodded once. The cube's been destroyed for years. Human tech crew swept the room, checking for traces. Nothing. Not even DNA. Whoever had been in this vault, Subject X9, was gone, or taken. A tech approached. "Sir, we're getting a pulse from nearby." "Not from the vault, but from underground, buried." Subject Zero turned. "Show me." They moved to a narrow shaft beneath the vault's floor, hidden, unmarked, behind several collapsed blast doors. Deeper level, never registered in the old Zorvan files, as if someone had built it afterwards secretly. The path was cold, black, and wrong. Theta-5 didn't like the silence. "I feel something," she whispered. "It's not just Zorvan tech. It's like it's watching us." Zero looked at her. "Then stay here." "No," she said. "I'm not scared of it, but I won't go alone." He gave a single nod. "Let's go." They moved down the shaft, far below, in the hidden chamber. They found what the Zorvans never meant for anyone to see. There was no stasis pod, no cryo-chamber, just a chair and a figure strapped. Down, still breathing, he was thin, gaunt, but alive. Wires ran from his spine, his arms, his skull. Machines pulsed around him. Some were human-made, others clearly Zorvan, together. They kept his mind somewhere between awake and dreaming. His eyes were open but unfocused. Subject Zero stepped forward. "Subject X9." No response. Theta-5 reached out. "I think he's not asleep. He's trapped." A whisper came from the walls in echo, like static. No name, it hissed. No memory. Only the loop. Subject Zero froze. That voice wasn't human or Zooer. "Vaughn," he turned sharply. "We're not alone here." Suddenly, the machines around them activated. Red lights flashed. Strange hum filled the air deeper than sound. The floor vibrated on their ship above. Alarms sounded. Unknown signal rising from the vault. Someone shouted, "It's not Zorvan, it's worse." Back underground, Subject X9 blinked. For the first time in years, his eyes focused. He looked at Zero and whispered, "They didn't build this place. It built them." Before anyone could speak, the machines burst with light. Subject X9 screamed not in pain, but in release. The wires snapped free, ripped from his body. He stood, staggered, then rose to full height. He glowed faintly. His body wasn't shifting like Theta-5's or like Zero's. It was breaking and rebuilding itself every second. A living quantum fracture. He looked at them, blinking fast. "I remember," he said. Then he fell silent behind him. The machines melted, collapsed into black liquid, evaporating like smoke. The hum vanished. The room went quiet, but the fear didn't leave. Theta-5 stepped forward. "Do you know who you are?" He looked at her. "Not yet. But I know what I'm not." Subject Zero tilted his head. "What do you mean?" X9 looked up at the ceiling. "The Zorvans didn't create this vault, they found it." "Found it?" He nodded slowly. "Built something around it to contain me, but they didn't understand what it was, or what I was connected to." "Connected? To what?" Theta-5 asked. X9 whispered one word. "Origin." Subject Zero frowned. "What origin?" X9 took a breath. "Not Earth. Not Zorva. Before both of us. Before the stars. Something beneath everything. It sleeps, but it dreams. And when I was trapped, I heard it." Silence fell again. Then a transmission came through on the main ship's channel. Joro's voice, sharp, "Commander, to pull. Fold space tiers just opened Zorvan warships. No, 7, ... 11 total. They've blocked all exits. We're surrounded." Subject Zero and Theta-5 turned. Extraction now, Zero said. The team rushed back to the surface, dragging X9 between them. But when they reached the hangar platform, the sky was burning. Zorvan dreadnoughts floated above the ice. Weapons-powered shields. Theta-5 clenched her fists. They're not letting us leave. Subject Zero stared at the ships. They're afraid of what we found. Suddenly, X9 stepped forward. He looked at the sky, eyes narrow. They're not here for you. They're here for me. A beam of light shot from one of the Zorvan cruisers. Not a weapon, a scan it focused directly on. X9, he flinched, and in that moment, the sky cracked. Not the ships, not space. Reality itself split for a blink, as if the universe held its breath. The Zorvan beam cut off instantly. All ships paused. Even the crew on the human carrier went silent. Theta-5 whispered, "What? Was that?" Subject Zero turned to X9. "What did you do?" "I didn't do anything," X9 said. It responded. "Who's it?" X9's voice dropped. "The one I heard while I was sleeping. The thing below memory. Below thought. The first mind. The origin." Theta-5's voice shook. "It's alive," no, X9 said. "It's waiting." Above them, the Zorvan fleet backed off. All at once, every ship slowly turned. Then they did something no one expected. They ran, fold space, opened behind them, and they vanished. Gone. Theta-5 looked at Subject Zero. Why would they run? Zero was already staring at X9. They scanned him. They saw something. Something that terrified them more than us. X9 sat down slowly. "Because they know, if I wake up fully, I won't just remember who I am." He looked up, eyes glowing. "Like white fire, I'll remember who made me." Silence fell across the room, and far away, deep in the unknown parts of space, something shifted just slightly, as if it had heard its name, and smiled. The 11th vault was empty. Subject Zero stood in silence, staring at the broken containment tube. Lights flickered above him, casting long shadows across the sealed chamber. Theta-5 stepped closer. "They got here first." He nodded once. "The cube's been destroyed for years." Human tech crew swept the room, checking for traces. Nothing, not even DNA. Whoever had been in this vault, Subject X9, was gone or taken. A tech approached. "Sir, we're getting a pulse from nearby." "Not from the vault, but from underground, buried." Subject Zero turned. "Show me." They moved to a narrow shaft beneath the vault's floor, hidden, unmarked, behind several collapsed blast doors. Deeper level, never registered in the old Zorvan files, as if someone had built it afterwards secretly. The path was cold, black, and wrong. Theta-5 didn't like the silence. "I feel something," she whispered. "It's not just Zorvan tech. It's like it's watching us." Zero looked at her. "Then stay here." "No," she said. "I'm not scared of it, but I won't go alone." He gave a single nod. "Let's go." They moved down the shaft, far below, in the hidden chamber. They found what the Zorvans never meant for anyone to see. There was no stasis pod, no cryo-chamber, just a chair and a figure strapped. Down, still breathing, he was thin, gaunt, but alive. Wires ran from his spine, his arms, his skull. Machines pulsed around him. Some were human-made, others clearly Zorvan, together. They kept his mind somewhere between awake and dreaming. His eyes were open but unfocused. Subject Zero stepped forward. Subject X9. No response. Theta-5 reached out. "I think he's not asleep. He's trapped." A whisper came from the walls in echo, like static. No name, it hissed. No memory. Only the loop. Subject Zero froze. That voice wasn't human or Zooer. "Vaughn," he turned sharply. "We're not alone here." Suddenly, the machines around them activated. Red lights flashed. Strange hum filled the air deeper than sound. The floor vibrated on their ship above. Alarms sounded. Unknown signal rising from the vault. Someone shouted, "It's not Zorvan, it's worse." Back underground, Subject X9 blinked. For the first time in years, his eyes focused. He looked at Zero and whispered, "They didn't build this place. It built them." Before anyone could speak, the machines burst with light. Subject X9 screamed not in pain, but in release. The wires snapped free, ripped from his body. He stood, staggered, then rose to full height. He glowed faintly. His body wasn't shifting like Theta-5's or like Zero's. It was breaking and rebuilding itself every second. A living quantum fracture. He looked at them, blinking fast. "I remember," he said. Then he fell silent behind him. The machines melted, collapsed into black liquid, evaporating like smoke. The hum vanished. The room went quiet, but the fear didn't leave. Theta-5 stepped forward. "Do you know who you are?" He looked at her. "Not yet. But I know what I'm not." Subject Zero tilted his head. "What do you mean?" X9 looked up at the ceiling. "The Zorvans didn't create this vault, they found it." "Found it?" He nodded slowly. "Built something around it to contain me, but they didn't understand what it was, or what I was connected to." "Connected? To what?" Theta-5 asked. X9 whispered one word. "Origin." Subject Zero frowned. "What origin?" X9 took a breath. "Not Earth. Not Zorva. Before both of us. Before the stars. Something beneath everything. It sleeps, but it dreams. And when I was trapped, I heard it." Silence fell again. Then a transmission came through on the main ship's channel. Joro's voice, sharp, "Commander, to pull. Fold space tiers just opened Zorvan warships. No, 7, 11 total. They've blocked all exits. We're surrounded." Subject Zero and Theta-5 turned. "Extraction now," Zero said. The team rushed back to the surface, dragging X9 between them. But when they reached the hangar platform, the sky was burning. Zorvan dreadnoughts floated above the ice. Weapons-powered shields. Theta-5 clenched her fists. "They're not letting us leave." Subject Zero stared at the ships. "They're afraid of what we found." Suddenly, X9 stepped forward. He looked at the sky, eyes narrow. "They're not here for you. They're here for me." A beam of light shot from one of the Zorvan cruisers. Not a weapon, a scan it focused directly on. X9, he flinched, and in that moment, the sky cracked. Not the ships, not space. Reality itself split for a blink, as if the universe held its breath. The Zorvan beam cut off instantly. All ships paused. Even the crew on the human carrier went silent. Theta-5 whispered, "What was that?" Subject Zero turned to X9. "What did you do?" "I didn't do anything," X9 said. It responded. "Who's it?" X9's voice dropped. "The one I heard while I was sleeping. The thing below memory. Below thought. The first mind. The origin." Theta-5's voice shook. "It's alive," No X9 said. "It's waiting." Above them, the Zorvan fleet backed off. All at once, every ship slowly turned. Then they did something no one expected. They ran, fold space, opened behind them, and they vanished. Gone. Theta-5 looked at Subject Zero. Why would they run? Zero was already staring at X9. They scanned him. They saw something. Something that terrified them more than us. X9 sat down slowly. "Because they know, if I wake up fully, I won't just remember who I am." He looked up, eyes glowing. "Like white fire, I'll remember who made me." Silence fell across the room, and far away, deep in the unknown parts of space, something shifted just slightly, as if it had heard its name, and smiled. The silence after the Zorvan retreat was louder than any battle. Everyone on the carrier stood still, staring at the empty fold space window. 11 warships had vanished. No shots fired. No demands made. Just fear. And Subject Zero stood near the bridge window. Theta-5 was beside him. Behind them, Subject X9 sat quietly, head lowered, hands trembling slightly. No one dared to speak first. Finally, Joro broke the silence from the control station. They're gone. All of them. HFY stepped forward. Why did they run? Subject Zero answered, still watching the stars. They saw something when they scanned X9. Something worse than war. She asked. He nodded. Much worse. X9 finally spoke. They saw the truth. Everyone turned. His voice was steady, but there was pain behind it. Fear, too. They didn't just scan my body. They touched my mind, and that opened a door. Theta-5 stepped closer. What kind of door? X9 looked up at her. It's the one that leads back to before. Before planets, before stars, before time made rules. Before species had names. There was only the first mind. The origin, Zero said. X9 nodded. It doesn't speak in language. It doesn't think the way we do. But it remembers. And when I woke, it felt me. But now it's watching. The carrier trembled slightly, not from impact, but from something deeper. Like the hull itself was reacting to a pressure that hadn't arrived yet. JORO checked systems. All scans normal, but shields just flickered. Gravity shifting by microfractures. Zero turned to the crew. Prep for deep jump. Get us to fallback zone 3. Now, engine spun up. Light twisted. But the fold space jump didn't happen. The stars outside didn't shift. They vanished. Theta-5 looked out the viewport. Where are the stars? Everyone froze. Outside there was no blackness, no light. Just a smooth, endless gray. Subject X9 stood, his voice low. It's here. Subject Zero walked to the controls. What's here? The first mind, X9 said. It didn't follow us. We followed it. When I woke up, I didn't just break my prison, I signaled it. Theta-5 whispered, You're saying we brought it with us? No, X9 said. I was its echo. Its voice, stuck in flesh. Now it wants to remember itself fully, and we're the mirror. The ship groaned. Deck lights dimmed. Every human aboard felt something deep in their heads, not a voice, not words, but images. Flashbacks of their worst memories. War. Fire. The moment they lost someone. The moment they broke. The moment they changed. Everyone experienced it at once. Subject Zero clutched the wall. It's trying to understand us. Theta-5 held her head, breathing hard. No, it's trying to connect. It doesn't know what we are, but it feels the pieces of itself inside us, Joro shouted from the terminal. Multiple systems failing. Memory cores wiped. It's erasing us. Subject X9 reached out, touched the floor. The shaking stopped instantly. Everyone stared. He turned to them slowly. It's not trying to kill us. It's trying to come through us. It sees our minds as windows. If we don't close them, it'll keep pulling until it steps through. Subject Zero understood. It's not alive, not the way we are. No, X9 said. It's a seed, and our pain waters it. Suddenly, a voice rang through the ship, not spoken, but felt. You are the broken ones. You remember us, we will be whole again. Theta-5 whispered. It thinks we're part of it. X9 nodded. Because we are. The Zorvans didn't just trap us. They used pieces of this thing to build us, to enhance us. They stole it from the void. And now the void wants it back. The ship began to fracture, not in metal, but in time, the walls flickered. People aged and de-aged in flashes. Gravity twisted. Subject Zero's voice was calm. We can't run. We can't shoot it. What do we do? X9 stepped forward. Remember before it? We remind it that we became something else. Something human. He turned to Theta-5. Your mind is the strongest. You held on to yourself while asleep. I need your help. What do I do? She asked. Link with me. Show it choice. Not design, not pain, but will. She nodded. Together, they stepped to the core of the ship. Subject Zero followed, guarding them. They stood at the central interface, a memory drive connected to every rescued human's consciousness. All 27 Vault survivors were linked here. still asleep. Their dreams held in data. Theta-5 and X9 placed their hands on the glass. The ship vanished around them. They stood in a gray place. Not space, not time. Just feeling. The first mind appeared not as a shape, but as a question. Why did you leave us? Theta-5 stepped forward. I didn't leave. I woke up. We were whole. You made us fracture. X9 stepped beside her. No. You were never whole. You were alone. We gave you reflection. We gave you contrast. That's what memory is. That's what life is. The first mind paused, then pain. It echoed through them like a roar. Theta-5 cried out. Her body shook. Memories flooded her, every moment of suffering from every vault sleeper, every scream, every loss, every betrayal. But she didn't fall. She stood and whispered now. Remember love. She opened her mind fully, not to fight, but to share. She showed the first mind, her first moment of connection, the memory of Subject Zero freeing her from stasis. Of hearing a voice after centuries of silence. Of realizing she wasn't alone. Anymore, the gray cracked. A thin blue light pierced it. Then more. Subject. X9 pushed his own memory out. A child's laugh from Earth before he was taken. A name. A mother. A sunrise. The first mind trembled. It felt, it recoiled. This is ... other. Theta-5 nodded. Yes. And it's ours, not yours. The gray collapsed. They returned. The ship reappeared. Time stabilized. Gravity snapped back. Everyone on the carrier gasped as the pressure lifted Theta-5, and X9 opened their eyes, alive. Whole, the stars returned outside. The first. Its mind had gone. Not destroyed, but understood. It had felt them and turned away. Subject Zero walked to them. You did it. Theta-5 was pale but steady. No, we did it. Subject X9 looked at his hands, then up at the stars. It let us go. Subject Zero nodded. For now. Will it come back? Theta-5 asked. X9 gave a small smile. It might. But next time it won't find silence. It'll find defenders. Subject Zero turned to the crew. All systems, status report. Begin. Search for Vault 28. Joro blinked. We're continuing? Subject Zero looked ahead. Yes, we're not finished. There are still more of us out there. He looked at Theta-5, at X9, at the stars. We're not just survivors anymore. We're the warning, the memory, the fire. We're the last defense. We are the last defense, and the ship moved on through the stars, through the dark, into whatever waited next. Together,